Joining me now is Democratic Congressman Elijah Cummings, member of the Joint Economic Committee and ranking member of Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Sir, nice to see you. Thanks for joining me.
Good to be with you.
So it was a mixed bag, Congressman, for the economy this week. Let's look at the GDP. Actually contracted in the fourth quarter, but there were some good numbers in the jobs report. Also, Wall Street ended the week at levels we haven't seen in years. And listening to the president, he sounded pretty optimistic. So how do you see the economy?
I see the economy as being fragile, but definitely moving in the right direction. And Alex, that's why we have to be so careful with regard to what we do in the Congress. A lot of the problems that could come about with regard to GDP will be as a result of the public and business feeling a certain level of uncertainty. And so we've got to do what we're supposed to do in the Congress, come to reasonable decisions. We're going to have some cuts, but those cuts have to be reasonable and careful, and we have to make sure that we do nothing to stop this fragile economy from growing. We've already seen a little of the effect on the GDP from the last quarter. We can't have that happening again, and we have to move forward.
You know, the president in this address, he mentioned that home prices have started to climb again. I know you've done a lot of work on the housing crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Is it improving? And what more can the government do to help?
I think clearly home prices are improving, but there are many pockets, like right here in Baltimore and Cleveland and Detroit, a number of our cities, where foreclosure is at an all-time high. People have lost, Alex, just about everything they have with regard to their houses. And so I would hope that the president and the Congress will concentrate a little bit more on foreclosure. I don't want us to get so happy about our home prices going up that we forget that there are millions upon millions of Americans who are underwater with regard to their houses, and two, have lost their houses, and three, are in a situation now where interest rates are down. We have to find ways to allow them to refinance their houses to those lower interest rates, and hopefully second term, the president will be aggressive with regard to that, and I'm going to be really pushing for that.
Yeah, not surprisingly. Sequestration, all those massive cuts to programs across the board set to take place in March. So two questions here on sequestration. Will it happen? And if it does, will it send the economy back into recession?
Alex, I am praying that it doesn't happen, but I see the way this Tea Party group has been operating in the Congress, and we've heard all kinds of threats. And in talking to a number of them, they basically have pretty much said, we're going to, if it comes to sequestration, it's going to happen. So, but I'm hopeful that that folks will back up a little bit, just like with this recent debt ceiling vote. I think basically business is going to have to come forward, like business came before with regard to the debt ceiling, and said, look, you can't do this, because all you're going to do is wreck the economy of the United States and wreck the economy of the world. So I'm hoping that we won't get there, but Alex, I got to tell you, it would not shock me if we do.
Okay, let's switch gears now. On the heels of the pretty heated Senate confirmation hearing for Chuck Hagel this last week, has the political climate at all changed with the new members of Congress on board?
Well, with regard, first of all, with regard to Chuck Hagel, the media has basically reported that he got beaten up pretty bad. I didn't see it that way. I thought he held his own, and I anticipate that we will have a lot of motion, commotion, and emotion, but Chuck Hagel will be confirmed. And I think he'll do a great job. And after all, I think the president should have the persons that he wants to carry out his policy. So I think that's going to be the case. With regard to the new Congress, I think we still have to have a wait-and-see situation. A number of the Tea Partiers lost their seats, but there's still a strong force in the House. And basically, those folks are determined to control Speaker Boehner. And I just hope that we don't have the kind of gridlock that we've had in the past, because I don't think it's good for anybody, not for the economy, and certainly not for my constituents.
Okay, we're going to have a little fun here, because it is Super Bowl Sunday.
Sure.
It's a big day for you and for Baltimore. What are the Ravens' chances?
I think the Ravens will win. I think they'll win by about 7 points. We've been the underdogs over and over again. Just on your show a few minutes ago, I heard them say that it's over. But you know what? They said it was over with Denver. They said it was over with New England, and we kicked butt. So I expect us to kick some more butt today, and I expect for Ray Lewis to be holding up that trophy at the end of the day.
Well, of course, everyone's watching Ray, the Fairway Tour. Of course we are. However, any chance you and Minority Leader Pelosi have a wager going? I mean, do you have to send her like some blue crabs or something if the 49ers win?
Well, you know, I did not want her to have to. She's got so many burdens, and I knew that the Ravens would win, so I didn't want her to have to go through any changes to send me anything from San Francisco. So I'm gonna still send her some roses when we win.
You're just a
Isn't that a
thoughtful
nice
guy.
gesture?
You know what I was reminded of? She's from Baltimore originally.
That's right.
So if there's any
That's
sort
right.
of split,
That's
you
right.
know, loyalties for her today.
As a matter of fact, she has a street named after her.
Well, there you go. I think you should get a street named after you if one is not there already, sir. Congressman Elijah Cummings, good to see you. Thank you.
All righty.
Next up, the best of office politics.